Hey guys, it's YOU WACK, and a couple videos back I made a video talking about how to improve your gameplay on console. Pretty much I just showed you guys how to remap your buttons, and it seemed like you guys loved that video. It seemed like a lot of people actually loved that video, and they wanted me to make a part 2. Now with my videos, I try to make the tip videos or the guide videos or whatever type of videos I'm making for Overwatch open to all platforms, whether that's on PC, you're on Xbox, or you're on PlayStation 3. For these videos, obviously they're mainly for the console players, but again, I try to make most of my videos open for all types of platforms. So if you want to see other types of videos, whether that's with hero guides or you want to see just how you can practice certain type of heroes, I will gladly do so. But for a video like this, it's mainly going to be for the console players. So for this video, I'm just going to show you a couple heroes for what kind of buttons I remap for the controller. I'm not going to make a whole entire list because again, that would be too long. And two, with these types of videos, they go into really high details. Like a lot of explaining goes into it, and just a lot of examples go with each and every single button. So that's why I wanted to keep it short and keep it only for 3 heroes. So let's get it started. I don't want to waste too much time with the intro. Let's start the video. So before the video starts, I just want to say rest in peace to my old Advanced Warfare controller. I don't know what happened, just the left thumbstick isn't working, so we're just going to be using this regular white controller. So 2 things I want to mention real quick. 1, this isn't a scuff, obviously no back pedals, no trigger stoppers, no nothing, so I feel like you don't need to have a scuff to be in Masters, Grandmasters to do this great, so just want to clarify that. And also number 2, this is how I hold the controller. Index fingers on both triggers, left and right, thumbs on the left and right thumbstick, and then 3 fingers not doing anything. I know a lot of people mentioned in the last video, oh, why don't you play claw? Well, I mentioned that, but just to negate that, yes, playing claw really does help. This is what they mean. Middle finger is on the right trigger, and then the index finger is pressing all these buttons. I can't play like that. This is how I've been holding the controller ever since the GameCube, ever since the PlayStation 2 controller, and this is how I'm always gonna hold it. So that means I have to utilize all 4 of these fingers, and unfortunately that means 3 fingers aren't being utilized. So now let's continue on with the video. So here's the first hero, which is going to be Fara, and again we're going to be showing 3 heroes featuring the 3 button mapping, which is going to be easy button mapping, light button mapping, and heavy button mapping. Fara more or less is just the easy button mapping, but what's so great about Fara is that she's one of the only heroes in the game that can go in the sky but also stay in the sky. I know there is Mercy and she can go to hero and hero in the sky, and there is Diva that can fly in the sky, but more or less she's just going to drop down. Fara is probably the only hero that is going to be able to go in the sky and stay there, and that's where she's most effective. But if we just look at the default layout, right is obviously her rocket launcher, Y is her rocket barrage or ultimate, left is jetpack jump, right is concussion blast, but along with every other hero in the game, A is her hover jets, which is her jump ability. So I was just thinking, well, why are you constantly going to go in the sky and then constantly have to switch back and forth? Obviously I'm exaggerating now, but this is how Fara is the most effective, if you're always just stay in the sky like this and constantly pressing A, because one thing about Fara is that she's harder to hit when she's just constantly going like this, just constantly going back and forth, or just kind of dropping. Okay, you got to press A right there. But again, look at my right thumb. You're constantly, I'm exaggerating right here. A lot of people are going to comment on that, but this is literally what you're doing right here. So this is what I did. So now we're at the options for Fara, and again, this is the easiest button that you can do, and this is kind of a tip that I took from some of you guys that do play Fara a lot. Change your jump ability from A to left trigger, because left trigger, nothing's on there. A lot of people will say, oh, left thumbstick, which I will mention it later on in the video, you should bind it to left thumbstick, but if left trigger isn't doing anything, and if your left index finger, is always on it, I think that's going to be a lot more effective. So all you gotta do pretty much is just jump, and boom, there you go. There, it's easy like that. Easy as pie, it's simple like that, and now you're going to be a lot more effective. You can do that, you can do that. There's really nothing else I need to explain at this point. So now we're on to a hero like Lucio, which is going to represent the third option, which is going to be heavy button mapping. You're just going to be completely changing it, and I just want to forewarn you guys, it's going to be weird if you want to just change your buttons. It's going to be totally awkward because you're so used to how Lucio is normally played, but if you just do this, trust me, you'll be a lot more effective. But again, similar to Fara, one way that Lucio is most effective is when he's a slippery snake, when he's just able to wall ride. But again, similar to Fara, you're constantly going like this, and you're not utilizing every finger right here. I mean, again, so on the left trigger, it's his secondary fire. On the right, it's going to be his main fire. But again, you want to try to utilize the jump button. Well, if you want to do the Fara route, well, left trigger is where his secondary fire is. So that's where you're just changing his buttons to a more effective playstyle is going to come into place. So this is what I did. So before I even show you guys the buttons, just turn allow backwards wall riding on. I don't know if it's on by default, but I don't know why you want to have that on. But here are where things are going to get spicy. So again, similar to Fara, Lucio is most effective when he's jumping around. So change button to left trigger. Previously on the last video, some people said they changed it to the left thumbstick and that you should change it to the left thumbstick. for me personally, I don't like it because I feel like you're using a lot more force to constantly be pressing like that. Here on the left trigger, at least it's just smooth like that, smooth like butter. So that means that if you move the secondary fire from the left trigger, where are you going to move it next? Well, I thought, well, why not keep it like Genji, where half the controller is the attacking side and then the other half is like the toolkit side. So secondary fire, you're going to change to right bumper, but that meant his ability, which is what's his ability at? It's his amp it up ability. So that means you're going to have to change it to something else. So if we want to just go back to Lucio, again, this is where the term heavy button remapping is going to come into play. So his amp it up ability, I feel like you're not really going to use it every single time when compared to the crossfade. So the left bumper, I feel like would be perfect for the amp it up ability because, okay, yes, you do have to lift your finger, but again, I think the cooldown is 14 seconds. So that's where the left bumper for amp it up will come into play. But that meant that his crossfade would get unbound. So where does that leave? The left thumbstick. Your finger is always going to be on the left thumbstick. You're constantly going to be changing between healing and speed. So that's where I feel like Lucio would be most effective. And I know I keep saying most effective, but honestly, that's the whole point of this video, is wanting to use each and every single phalange. And somebody made fun of that, made fun of me because I said the word phalange, using each and every single finger to the most to their ability. And honestly, if you're just constantly just switching like this, yes, you are using a bit more force than if you were using the left trigger, but honestly, your finger is always on the left thumbstick and you're constantly going to be able to change between healing and speed. And again, that's where Lucio, I'm going to say it one more time, is most effective, and left trigger is where you're jumping the most. You can switch these two, the jump to the left thumbstick and then the crossfade to the left trigger, but honestly, I like it like this, and I've been using it like this for such a long time. And again, there's speed right there. Well, I mean, just amp it up with the healing or the speed. Sure, you do have to lift your finger right there, and then your secondary fire, which is your boop or the bomb, I think it's actually pronounced, and then the regular just primary fires right here. So again, there was a lot of details that went into it, but I had to explain and also clarify, yes, you can use the left thumbstick for jump, but for me personally, I just like it for the crossfade, and then the jump is on the left trigger. So now we're on to a hero like Mercy, and again, there's not going to be a lot that we're going to be changing for Mercy, but the title of this video is how to improve your gameplay on console. So yes, I'm going to show you one button that you need to remap, but also just give a quick tip for all you Mercy mains out there, or that someone that wants to play Mercy that you probably didn't know about, but I just found to be more effective with Mercy. And I know I keep saying that, but that's the whole point of this video. So the first button that I'm going to show you, obviously the change the buttons right here, or change the weapons rather, is right here on the right D-pad. Well, some people like to strictly just go healing or power up Mercy. That's all fine, but some people like to go battle Mercy to defend themselves. Well, if obviously I'm going to be exaggerating right here, but if you're constantly switching right here, it's not a lot of time. It doesn't take a lot of time to switch the weapons, but if you're constantly doing this and you're not utilizing the left thumbstick, that's going to be a problem. So you can already tell where this is going to be going. So if we want to just go down to here to controls to Mercy, and also I don't know if this is on by default, it's probably not. Change allied health bars to on. I don't know why you wouldn't if you're playing Mercy, but also Guardian Angel preference beam target, change that to off, because if you're going to be healing someone and they're at full health and you're going to have priority on them when someone else needs healing, why would you want priority on the fully healed hero when someone else needs healing? I don't know, that was just something I wanted to explain to you guys. But the main thing right here, next weapon, you want to switch from the left D-pad to the left thumbstick. I know this is a common theme with a lot of these heroes, but let's say this, there's a tracer right there, okay, boom, right there. Obviously you can turn around and then switch right there, but I just feel like it's a lot more effective when having the weapon at your ready on the left thumbstick. I know it's not going to be saving a lot of time, but it was just a quick little thing that I kind of learned. Now the next thing I want to show you guys, when you're actually going to a hero, I'm pressing the weapon right there, but if you're going to a hero and you want to fly to another hero but you don't know who needs the next healing, just constantly have your Guardian Angel, which is the left trigger, just constantly be holding it. Sure, it's not that big of a tip right there, and some of you Mercy mains already probably do this, but it just makes you kind of like fair. It makes you a harder target to hit, because let's say this, oh, someone's shooting me, oh, I'm dropping right there. It's a lot more unpredictable, your movements. So if you want to go from hero to hero, just constantly just be holding the left trigger. It really doesn't hurt you in any way, and plus you have more control of your mobility when you're getting a hit scan hero against you, say like Soldier 76. So it's just a quick little tip that I want to show you guys. I constantly hold the left trigger. You might see that in some of my gameplays. So if there's a hero right over there, okay, I'm able to fly to there. Oh, there's a hero right there. Well, rather than just being on the ground and not in the air, which is where I'm the least vulnerable when compared to on the ground, I'm able to stay in the sky still and fly over to them. So just a quick little tip, and overall just a simple little guide for some heroes for how I play them with my buttons. So again, this isn't really going to be saving you a lot of time, but if you just think of it as the whole, you're going to be saving a lot more seconds when switching from back to forth. So I just want to help you guys out. So hopefully this video does help. Share this video with anybody that's playing console that wants to do a little bit better. Say with Lucio, say with Fara, or even Mercy to an extent. Maybe some people didn't even know that would be a little bit more effective to switch weapons with the left thumbstick. Maybe you switched your buttons, and I would like to hear you guys' thoughts. So anyway guys, I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching, and bye.